Hello everybody, welcome to Live with Prima. My name is Eila Sandberg and I'm sending this show from Stockholm in Sweden. With us today moderating is the one and only Carrie Fennell. Hello. Any questions you have, you just say them in the chat and she will have answers to you. We will be packed with lots of action and lots of things to do this evening. So before we start the show, I have a couple of announcements. The next Live with Prima show coming is on Thursday the 13th of November. It's Joy Altered Frame with Lemur Webber, and it starts at 6:30 Pacific time. And soon, drum roll, it's time for the new special delivery kit. It will be announced on the 15th of November. So go to livewithprima.com and up in the ruler, click the folder shop and you will see the kit and be able to order it. And on the Prima blog, I hope you have seen the new challenge, 12 days of Christmas cards. So a new featured cards every day, and you can enter as many times as you like. So go to primatypepad.com and Prima will pick 12 lucky winners in December and they will receive a special Prima prize. So off we go. I will pan down, so bear with me. And this is what we will be creating today. And because it's in cream and white, the camera has some difficulties in focusing, as you can see. So I got some extra light in my room and it gives very odd shadows in places I don't like. So I will try to move things around so that you can see the effects. So it's quite media heavy, and it's important that you work with dry things because otherwise it will buckle and fall off. So the first thing to do is actually to start with a frame, and I would recommend that you do that the day before. Allow it to dry properly. So I'll put this aside, and the first step is the frame. So it's a white wooden frame and I've removed the back of it and the glass. So what we start with is, I will show just itty bitty bits here because it takes time to dry. So we start with the chalkboard paint, the yummy eggshell. I'll show you what I mean. It's perfect for anything shabby. Have you seen that? Creamy. And I can see that my camera's got some difficulties in focusing. So just paint the frame 2 or 3 times, and it doesn't really matter. This is a funny brush. If it goes a bit lumpy and not that smooth, I'll change a brush. It doesn't matter if it drips, but dry in between the layers. And paint also the sides, couple or 3 times, depends on how thickly you layer it, and the inside. So I will give it a quick dry in between, and then we continue with the next layer. So just a quick one. Just to show you. And with each layer it will become more and more this vanilla, yummy, eggy, custard color. So you get the idea, and we don't want to spend time just drying a frame. So I'm just showing you what and then I'm drying it a little bit. So this is not enough paint. I'll show you closer. Yeah, it doesn't come across very well at all, but you get the idea. The cream colored eggshell. And I'm drying it a little bit more. We are working on achieving this. I'll show you. Can you see it a bit? Down here it's grainy, lumpy, yummy texture. There, you see it a bit. So all over the frame we're working in layers with art mediums. So the next one, because this is a wintry Christmas home decor, we have snow and we have texture paste, clear crackle. And I'm not very particular with doing it very neatly. I just want to have the texture, that's what I'm after. And have you seen that texture too? All of these art mediums, they are like, I mean, yummy. You could eat it. I just love this. So depending on how thickly you spread the clear crackle, you will get bigger or smaller. And I put it quite generously on the inside, on the outside, because that's what our windows look like in the winter. With a melted snow, melted ice. So I'll zap it a little bit to see if we can get the crackle effect. But the best one is if you let it dry naturally. And this is really good value for money as well. Julie, no, I won't eat it, but it's good enough to eat. Yeah, it's coming a little bit here. A little bit of crackle. I'll just show, see if we can. Oh no, it's not a good one. So, but you get the idea. So first the chalkboard paint, and then the clear crackle paste, and it dries clear. Yes, and as Carrie says, it doesn't smell at all, no odor, easy to apply, very smooth, and fabulous result. I'll show you on the finished one. Can I see? Yeah, a bit here. But it comes across really well in real life. And if you use other colors, it also comes across even better. Thank you, Joe. Right, so we have painted first with the chalkboard paint. We have clear crackle. And I'm trying to paint your picture here. Imagine winter, it has been melting the snow. You see the window panes, and it's melted, it's frozen, it's melted and frozen again. So lots of lumpy, bumpy things around the window sills. So that's what we want to have. And the next thing we are going to use is texture paste, white sand. This is absolutely fabulous for texture. I use it through stencils. I use it on flowers. I use it on practically anything to get texture. So it's a kind of, yeah, the same eggshell color, and it's got a gritty texture to it. Gritty texture. It's like having modeling paste and then mixing sand in it. So I don't want to have anything nice and smooth. I want to have lumps. And to get lumps, I take my spatula and then I just dab it on in places. And as I said before, dab it on the inside, dab it on the outside. And you go around, and it's not necessary to dab anything in the corners because that's where we are going to have the cluster. So this is to give you an idea, and I will show you soon what it looks like when it's dry. So I'll just give it a quick zap, just a little bit to set it. Karen. Hi there. And because we have so much that has to dry, I'm doing like a cooking and bakery show. So I've shown you the mediums and in which order to do it. And now I'm removing this frame. And as a miracle, I have a ready frame. So I'll show you, this is what the texture, the sand looks like when it's dried. It's a little bit, it's still gritty, and you can see all the lumps and bumps because that's what we want to have, lots of texture. And what I do when I have lots of texture that I want to stand out, I use white acrylic paint. And I don't use a brush, I just take it on my fingers, and I'll show you to bring out the lumps and bumps. I just gently wipe it, and we want to have imperfection, that is perfection. So just gently over the frame, and we want to have that shabby sort of flaked feeling of old window paints. And I'm going to work this round, and on the side, on the top, I'll show you in a sec. Yeah, that's about as good as you can see it. Here you will have texture as well. And I'll go around the frame, and this will dry really quickly because we have done all the work before drying. So my fingers, and then I got two more sides here. I'm just wiping it here on the inside and on the outside as well. Just so. And then the last side here. So doing all the prep work the day before gives you, it's easier to start mounting and working once you've done. So that's the frame. So this is as ready as it goes. So I'll put aside the paint and have a bit of baby wipes here because I'm making a mess of myself all the time. So I'll take that aside, and I will show you again what we'll do next. So now we've prepped and made the frame. Now we're going to the actual centerpiece. So we have something at the bottom, and then we have the circle. Taking it aside, and for that bit I have used, and this is white, so the camera might go unfocused, 5 sheets of watercolor paper, quite thick, and it's 12 by 12, 30 centimeters by 30. And watercolor paper, you know, is rather soft and it absorbs. So remember that anything that you put on top watercolor paper will absorb into the paper. So use more generously than you're used to. So what do we do with these pieces? Well, 2 of these sheets you adhere together because we want to have a thick and solid background. So 2 pieces adhere together. Then we use 2 more sheets for the circular centerpiece. There you see it goes off center. Hello. Okay, if I remove that, yes, it goes back. It's because of the white paper. So 2 pieces, and to make a circle I just use a regular dinner plate. So I place it on top and I outline it and I cut it out. 2 circles. And the last piece of paper I make a 3rd circle. And this 3rd circle, okay, I'll move it, that one out of the way. Thank you. So 2 for the background, 2 for the circle, and the third one is for the bottom part. You see it's stacked. So I cut it in half and I punched it. So what we're going to work on is this circle, the background. And I have prepared, I put 2 circles, 2 papers together, and I like to use gel medium because it sticks really solidly. If you use glue, yeah, cameras hate the white, Carrie. Thank you, I know. So if you use glue, use more than you normally would. And my tip, my all-to-go tip, is to use a brayer, because you want to have it flat, nice and flat, all the way round to the edges. Because if you don't put adhesive all the way around, it will lift and the edges will sort of come loose. So all the way around and properly, because now we are going into the wet mediums. And for the background, I have used color bloom sprays. First, the pearl white. I mean, can you see that? It's got a lovely, lovely shimmer of the palest of pink. And then I've used cotton candy. I'll whip it up a bit to get out all the pink yumminess. Cotton candy. And then I've also used Storm Cloud. This is my favorite grey tone. It's absolutely beautiful. So pearl white, Storm Cloud and cotton candy. How yummy can it get? So I start with the lightest color, and this is going to be wet. It's going to be very wet, and because I'm a klutz, I always drop things. I am not removing the nozzle, and I'm not tapping it to remove the mica flakes. So sorry Sharon, sorry Carrie. I'm just going to shake this real well. And now we're starting to create the sky. So, and I want this to be wet. So don't be afraid. Go about 3/4 of the circle. And even if you spray too much, it will be covered by the bottom. So first the pearl white. And I'm looking for pooling. I like lots of stuff. And flicker a little bit. And you like to dry in between. But because I'm doing the baking show, I will show you the first steps. And then a bit of pink in the middle. You dry. You get the idea, lots and lots and lots. And you will see, this is not the finished one, you will see once you start drying that the watercolor paper will start buckling. It will start buckling in the middle. And what I want is the pooling. You see the color moving around. So lots of wet, thank you, we like that. And dry in between and spray. Yes, baking and making. So spray and dry. So because we're in the baking mode, I will do as in the shows. I will remove this wet thing and dry off a little bit here from my surface. And what do you know? We have a ready one. All the color bloom sprays, they have mica flakes. And if you see it in real life, and I don't think it comes across that well, it glimmers, it shines, and it's just yummy. I love the sprays, and I really use them for everything. On the original, I'll show you again. On the original, there are some snow flurries, white specks, and before you can flick them onto the background has to be really dry or it just gets soggy. So what I've used for the background with a snow flurry is heavy gesso diluted with water and a mini mister. So shake it properly and good, and then flick out some snow flurry, and this goes quick to dry. So we are doing the fast forward move so that we can be preparing and doing the funny bits as well. So lots of mixed media, that's fun, but make sure it's dry. And we're almost done with it drying, just a little bit. And when you think about Christmas Eve, you think about Santa and his sleigh up in the skies, and imagine during day there has been snow, and you know the powder snow that just falls very, very softly and fluffily on top of the other snow. So that's the effect we'll be looking for when we do the bottom. There we are. Now time for the next one, and this is one of my favorites too. Soft gloss gel transparent. That's what we do for the starry skies of Santa Christmas Eve. And oops, there. You see, it looks white in the jar, but it gets clear once it's dried. So I have a stencil with specks. You can use, well, the bubble mask, for instance, my favorite too, or the stars. So you can use them as you like, but I wanted to have some specks, so I'll do that. And I use generously. I always use, not stingy with it, with myself. Oh, and this is so smooth just to, oh, there. You see the white specks, and I want to cover the whole sky with these speckles. And because it's dry, it dries clear. It doesn't matter, I didn't get properly. I just put it on top there. And you can yeah, I think I'm happy with that. So back with the lid. Don't want to have any accidents. Don't want to have accidents, have them enough. And on with the lid. And if you dry everything, you don't have all the strands and difficulties in opening the lid again. So we're drying the gloss gel, the transparent, and we're going to have a starry sky, very subtle but very shimmery, and it's a beautiful background. And because we are creating with lots of mediums with texture, it is important that you have an adhesive that is really good and solid and sticks, or everything will just keep moving and sliding about on your project. So giving a quick dry, and it goes really quickly. It transfers into the transparent yummy speckles, almost there. So it starts buckling up just a itty bitty bit, but as soon as it dries, it goes flat again. So no worries. Almost there. Almost there. Just a little bit here. Let me try. Oh, not quite yet. It gets sticky, and we want to have it dry. A little bit more. Almost done. Okay, I think, yeah. Let's be daring. But this bit can also be prepared the evening before to have it really dry. So okay, I'll show you again. So what we've done now is the sky, see, and the next step is the bottom half, the third circle that we cut in half and punched. So that's what we'll do. And I never use a ruler, I just eyeball things. that's my circle, and then a circle. So what I do is I just place it over the bottom circle and see where do I want to have the top horizontal. About there. So I'll cut it. Need scissors. Need to change the blades. And move that aside. And then we'll see how it fits. Yeah, this is better. I think I'll cut off just a bit, just a little bit, because it goes up a little bit too far. Not much, just a little bit here. And then we want to stagger the bottom half just a little bit below the top one. So what happens? We have two equals. We don't want that. So we have to make the bottom half a little bit smaller too. Just about a centimeter. You see, a strip. Let me see if it staggers nicely. Yes, it does. And it looks nice here as well. So the next thing is to have a punch. And I've used a Martha Stewart punch, the cherished one. You can use anything you like. And I've got quickly punch it really hard because watercolor paper is very thick. And almost done here. And then the top half. Give it a good squeeze. And I do it this way, not that way, because I want to see where I'm punching. We like to do it in our own way, so any way is good as long as it works for you. And we're done. And away with all this thing. So remember what I said about using lots of adhesives when you want to attach watercolor paper to watercolor paper. So I'm using glue all the way out, lots of it, generously. And then I'm placing it over the bottom part, and I'm just pressing a little bit. And if it gets a little uneven on the edges, it doesn't matter because you will be covering it in mediums. So I'll give it a quick zap again because we are going to work on this one as well. Just a little bit, just to make it stick. Just to make it stick. And if it starts bending up, buckling up, take your faithful brayer. Just press it down good and properly. And you don't want to have glue all the way up where you have punched. So not all the way up. So stay about here. Stay about there. There. So I'll remove these things, and now we'll work on the fluffy snow bit and the bling and the glitter. So we're going to work on this bottom half. Lots of yumminess going on there. Oh, just love this. So to get the structure of snow, soft snow on older snow, I used light paste in opaque matte. in opaque matte. And to get the structure, I used the Prima wood grain mask, the stencil. But instead of using it this way, I turned it sideways and placed it over the bottom half. And if it goes wonky, that doesn't matter at all. But you don't want to put stenciling on top of the bit that is punched, so keep below it. And well, talking about food, I mean, this is icing on the cake. Just look at this texture. It is so yummy. I keep repeating, I feel like a parrot, but it is really yummy. All these art mediums are absolutely yummy. So press down a little bit and then off you go. And use generously, don't be stingy. Use lots of it all the way down. All the way down. We want to have ridges, really good ones. We want to have a background that we can sprinkle lots of stuff on. And about this, so let me see what we get. Yes, perfect. Absolutely perfect. I'll show you. Can you see that? Yes. Beautiful ridges. Yum, 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 yum. And I'll put that aside and I'll wipe off the surface a bit. Now this is wet, and that's what we want to have. We want to have it wet. This is what I meant. Have you seen the new art sugars? I mean, it's, how good does it get? It glitters, it shines, it sparkles. You believe me, it is like fluffy snow. So what I do is sprinkle on top what I have masked. And we want it to glitter. We want to have lots of bling. So use it generously. And before we dry, we want to have even more. And if you are frugal, I forgot my paper, so I put it to the side here so that I can put it back in the jar. Very convenient art sugar. I want to have some more bling, and that's when we come to the glass beads, and I've used crystal. Now just think, can you see it a little bit? All the pearls, the beads, the art sugar, and with some light on. So I say like Buddy the Baker. And to make this stick, I use a spatula. I don't want to ruin these nice ridges. Where do I have? I have to dry this off. And I just press ever so lightly. Press it into the ridges. So it sticks, and some will fall off, but it doesn't matter. And you can always add more with some gel medium. You can use a brush and you can add some more. So more bling. Bling is good. So I'm going to zap this, because we want to have this dry as well. And it goes pretty quickly to dry this. And it doesn't dry clear, it dries white, soft, wonderful white. It takes a bit, so we'll do the baking trick, and it's dry. So you see how the pearls have stuck, the glitter. Yeah, there it glitters, you can see it. That's what we like. Lots of glitter and structure. So let's adhere it to our circle. And remember, lots of adhesive. Has to stick really, really good. So again. And because this is dry, I can press it proper and good. So adhesive up to the punched line properly, and then we want to leave some air in between here. And I can't use the braid because then I will ruin the pearls. There. So this is our base, and we will squash this out because it's buckled a bit. So we've got lots of color bloom spray. It has to pool. Let it dry or take your time with a zap. We have heavy gesso, snow flurry, and we have the clear gel medium for the starry skies. You can see how it glitters. There it shows. And the snow with a soft opaque gel and all the pearls and the sugar. Oh, this is absolute yumminess. So it's time to adhere it to our base. Remember, I used 2 sheets and glued them together or adhered them. So we're not going to work on the bottom, not just yet. And to get some height, I want to raise it. I use a lot of foam tape. So hello Frank, I'm a fan. Lots of foam tape, that does the trick. Lots of foam tape. And when you use foam tape on watercolor paper, you want it to stick. So use the gel medium again. It will slide around before it's dried properly, but then it will be stuck forever. Really, really, really good. So lots of foam tape. Oops. Hello, little friend. Come on. Yes, gel medium is really good, Carrie. And then just a little bit. So I'm not going to use the gel medium because it takes time to dry too. And I'll just pull off the backs protective layer. Yes, pieces of cardboard is also good if you have, and you can attach them with a gel medium as well. I mean, it's a multi-universal thing for so many things, the gel medium. Right. There. So we center it. Eyeballing, press good and proper. There. Okay, so what do we do next? I have to check my notes here in which order. So we've done that. Right, so what do we have here? Let's have a look. We have Christmas trees, 4 trees. So what we do with watercolor paper is to die cut 4 trees, and I will move this a little bit out of the way, So I have used a memory box die, Christmas tree. So it embosses and it die cuts at the same time because that's what I want to have. So I cut out, and you can't see this because this is white, 4 trees. Oh, you can't see the embossing, but believe me, it's there. So what we're going to do is to emboss snow and I will show you closer. It will show. First, snow on the trees. So I had a happy accident. I couldn't find my embossing pen, but I did have some stickles. So I thought, well, sticky, that might work. So what I did was I used the stickles, and it can be crystal, diamond, stardust, whatever, sort of silvery, glittery, because it won't show, just a little bit. So I traced the embossed part of the tree quite generously, squeezing out and following the outlines of the embossed part, all the way out on the branches. And this looks absolutely crazy, but it will work, believe me. Then we have embossing powder, and I've used seafoam white. So I sprinkle generously on top of the stickles and remove the excess and pour back the powder into my jar. Better close that lid. And what we'll do now is emboss. So it works the same way as normal embossing does. It starts to bubble, it starts to do all sorts of funny things. And because it's watercolor paper and we've got a wet medium, it will start buckling up, but as soon as it dries, it will flatten out. So we go zapping until we have the desired effect, exactly the same as you get with embossing ink. So I'm doing this real quick and not dry enough because I've done some prep work. I have 4 Christmas trees, and now I'll try to, yeah, can you see that? It has the same effect, and even better, I think. So 4 trees, stickles and embossing powder. One always learns some new things. So I'm taking back this one, and I have the trees, and they are placed on either side. And remember what I said about the lumpy, bumpy background. We need something really good and solid. So I just stuck them. But to see that dear Santa and his sleigh are centered or not hidden by the trees, I used a Santa die to cut out Santa and his sleigh from some glittery paper. It's quite thick, but the glitter is very thin, and I bought it in a local store, sheet of it, and I don't know if it has a name or if it's a brand, but it's white on the back side, just like cardstock, and glittery on the other side. And this is my Santa. Can you see him there? So I'm just going to lay him without gluing him down, sort of to get an idea where I want to have my trees. And then I want him to ride there. Good. So what we need is to stack the trees properly. And I see that I'm out on foam tape, so pardon me for disappearing for a while into my drawer of all sorts of good stuff. And here I have some more foam tape. Move Santa out of the way. So we want to have and elevate the trees. So I'm moving them aside, turning them upside down. Same thing as with the background. You want them to stick properly, but I'm not going to do that now, or it will just go sliding off my page. But this is a good thing to adhere with gel medium. And the 4th tree, and a little bit more at the bottom. So I'm going to turn it horizontal. all trees. And 2 more trees to go. Oh, the brand for the Santa die, it says IO stamps. I don't know, do you recognize that? I can't even remember where I bought it. Does it ring a bell? Does anybody know? So this is the Santa die. I don't know. No, it's not memory box. It's not memory box. It's something else. But it says the website is iostamps.com and the name of the die is die, D-I-E, 081-O. So I'll have to investigate that. There are many. I think Memory Box has a Santa and sleigh die as well. There are quite many brands out there. Yes, the tree is Memory Box, but not Santa and his sleigh. Yes, Patricia, Impression Obsession. Brilliant, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Hello, Ali. So now let's place out the tree sort of ish. Just stagger a little bit. And I'm not adhering them properly, good and properly. Just to show you. And not evenly either. I want to have them off. Don't want them exactly in the same height. About so. About so. Just to give you an idea. So there you got the trees, embossed stickles. And what we will do now is to add some more snow fluff. We like snow fluff. So I'm trying to see if I got one of my spatulas here. And to get some fluff, where have I got it? Hello. Not there. There. Light paste. The white. Yummy, 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 yummy. So you take a little bit, just a little bit at a time. And what you do is dab. You see, it's like whipped meringue. Just top. Just a little bit. You use it on the trees. And you use it on the background. On the trees. On the background, continue on the tree, and a little bit more on the background. And it's not rocket science. It doesn't have to look very neat. Well, what we want to do is to have this yumminess on the sky, so we do the same. And you can see it here. So on top of the sky, of the stars, the mat, and just dab it on. Some of it will be hidden in the cluster, but it doesn't matter. It looks good. And what do we want to do with this yumminess then? We want to use some more glitter and glam. And this time, mica flakes. This is the best. I'm using frosted. And frosted is silvery, transparent, and shiny. Really good, 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 good. So I just sprinkle on top of it. Sprinkle a bit, and it doesn't matter, the more the merrier. So on top of the trees and the background. So these are icicles, snow flurry icicles. We've got some specks of snow, we got drifting snow, and just a little bit. It's very soft and it doesn't matter. You know, you can move about with your finger. And this one, yeah, sticks good, really good. So mica flakes, and I'm going on my finger there, zapping again. And this will take a little bit longer. It doesn't matter there. And Santa is in place. He's a good one. You can stick it down. Microflakes fly around, come off if you. Alright. Julian, you had too little for lunch. You can always have pudding. Can't we, Ali? More pudding. Drying, drying, drying. Corinne, we have a friend from France, March. Corinne. Hi, Debbie. Golden crocheted lace and, well, what you know what you can do with scrapbooking. We're almost done with the background now. I just want to dry it off a little bit. It won't be completely dry, but you get the gist where we have placed everything and so. So it's not completely dry, but it will have to do. I'm just squashing it down. And as you can see, we're about 8 minutes off 1 hour strike. So you ladies, this will be a little bit longer than anticipated. Now the frame. Where did I put the frame? Oh, here. So I'm going to mount this in the frame because we will start clustering. Put it in there. And I have the back. And if it's too thin, just add something, a cardboard or anything to press it down. So I'm squashing down these. Et voila! This is our base. So we have all the yumminess here. We have the background, the circle, elevated, raised it. And now we're going to start clustering. Yes, I am reading, Julie. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Merci, Corinne. Merci. I'll move this aside and I'll plug in my heat gun. As I said, I normally would use gel medium, but because it doesn't stick properly in the show, it doesn't have time to dry, I am going to use my heat gun, and because I am such klutz, it will stick everywhere. But so the products that we are going to use now, I'll tell you the names and their product numbers, and you can find it and you can find it on the website and on Facebook. You're talking about cats. Yes, Sacred Berman, one Sacred Berman boy. So what we will use are, hang on, I've got a very tiny nook, so I've got everything very crammed. So what we will use is, I'll put this on top. We have leaves, the Rodent Neptune leaves, and can you see this? I mean, a whole box, 60 of them, of all sorts of leaves. All sorts of leaves. They are absolutely beautiful. I'll just take out one because I've been baking before the show. So leaves, oh, not good, white background, I'll put it there. And I made a boo-boo. No, not a boo-boo. I made a mistake. In the product list, I said that I had used Rodent White Cap. Actually, I didn't. I used Rodent Seaboard. The roses are Rodent Seaboard. And their product number is 5 77735. But as you see, I've used up almost the whole box. I will be using Rodant White Cap. And White Cap has product number 577773. And just look at these cuties. I mean, how adorable are they? You can mist them, you can use art sugar, and you can custom make them just as you like. So white, that is good. I'll put them aside for the time being, because we are going to, and I'll put this aside as well, we are going to custom make our leaves, because we want them to be shiny, we want them to be yummy too. The pearl white with this faint pearly pinkish is beautiful. Then I'm going to use the cotton candy, sprinkle a little bit, and while it's wet, thank you Carrie and Sharon, I use some of the Luminata glitter. I mean, how good is that? Glitter, like glitter. So I sprinkle a little bit and it adheres. You can of course dip the edges of the leaf into glue or gel medium and then use glitter just to edge it. I use it on top of the leaves. So I'll suck this quickly. Zap, 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 zap. And because we are fast forward, I'm moving this aside, and I have, whoops, lots of glittery. Now I'll show you the different. Can you see the shine? Glitter, the cotton candy, oh yes, and the pearl white. So about 10 leaves or so, 10 leaves. I'll put them aside for the time being. So I'll move this back and stuff out of the way. So we have leaves, we have the white flowers, and then we have the pièce de résistance, the absolutely gorgeous flowers. So this big one is the Oahu collection macadamia flower, and it's got product number 578138. So I'll remove that. Then we have a vine. We have, and this is an old one, but that's what I find so fantastic with Prima. You can use product from so many different collections and they just look absolutely amazing. So this vine is from an old collection en français, and I'll remove it so you can see it. It's creamy with streaks of red, so very subtle red, and I'll put it to the side. We also have, I've stuck in little gold leaves here. They're edged in gold. Look, craft, they're just, oh, shimmer and shine. Shimmer and shine, we like that. I'll remove them from the package. They are the Providence vines, and this particular one is bay. Can you see that? It's got product number 578251. 251. And what more do we have here? We have leaves, we have the vine, we have the roses on that one. Okay, in the little cluster we have also Rodant and the en français vine and some leaves. And when we come to this top cluster, I have to show you it. Now look at this one. You got silk, you got tulle, you got lace, and you got pearls, felt. I mean, how yummy can yummy get? And I'll show you. This is the from the Avalon collection, the glaze flower, and it's creamy with script mulberry leaves. And just look at this lace. Oh, this is just delicious. Delicious. So Avalon collection glaze bloom, and the product number is 577322. In the top cluster we have more of the vine and the en français leaves, and we have something tucked in here as well, a lace bloom in there, a creamy one, and I'll show you it. It's from the Capri collection, and it's a zinfandel flower. It's got product number 578244, and it's this one, lace. So I'll put it on the side, and then we'll start layering. So I've got to look and see, what did I do? So we'll start with the bottom cluster, the big one. And as you can see, the frame is above the bottom. So we want to have something to hold up the flower cluster. So what I've done is, I've just used, regular cardboard from a parcel, and that's a little bit too big, and it doesn't show under the cluster, so it doesn't matter what shape it has. Just chop it off and you're good to go. So in the corner and in the a little bit smaller, just cut it. And as we are adhering to watercolor paper, then we need a lot of glue. So there it goes, and if it comes outside, it doesn't show because you got the cluster on top. So there we are. And so I'm placing out the flowers first to see how I want to have it, and then I'm gluing it down. So I'm starting with the bottom cluster, the Yummy Yummy Oahu flower, and then we've got some leaves. I have to move my leaves. Where on earth did I put them? Here. Too clever. So I want to have a big one sticking out in the corner. I want to have one sort of halfway here. I want to have one sticking out there. And this is all loose to begin with. Then I take the white Rodin flowers, and I want to have a large one there. I want to have smaller ones tucked in to hide this cardboard, and I want to have a smaller one again. So this will be covering up the cardboard, and it doesn't look like the original, but that's the charm of it. There. And then we have some vines. Chop them off. Some leaves, and I'm just chopping them off randomly. And if you don't like these curly bits, save them for later. I don't know. And I'll put that on the side. Then we have the en français vine. So I always start by cutting off this curly edge here. Then we have a good one. Just chop them off. We have to pull and tug a little bit. That one goes off. And you can tuck in leaves as they are as well, if you like. They are really, I like the leaves. And unlike Frank and some others, I do not remove my green leaves from my roses. And some more. Okay, shall we be brave and start sticking out stuff just to be able to start working on this one. So hiding that one, I want to have a leaf. Oops, a daisy. Yep. In the corner, I want to have a leaf sticking out here, and something there. Then I want to have a flower there, and I'm not putting them straight down, I'm angling them a little bit. To build up some height. Oh dear me, where did you go? There. I'm tucking in and hiding the cardboard. Tucking in and hiding. Then we need some bay vine, the yummy golden one. And let me see if I need to snip off a little bit of this one here. As I actually do, it's a little bit too long. So it's all about layering, all about tucking in. And then we want to have some of the en français. And I'm putting them, stacking a little bit. There, we want to have some of it here as well, under this yummy crochet bloom. And we also want to have some more bay. Oh, that's a little bit too long too. Tucking in, tucking in. Yeah, we want to have a rose or a larger one. There's so many to choose from. So many different textures. Yeah, I think we need one of the leaves. Yeah, we'll take one of the leaves. And we have several leaves. So I'm tucking it there. And I'm sort of seeing how I can stagger everything. And we need something to stick out here. We want to have something out here. So we have some more flowers from the Ladybird collection, flower vines. These really cute, creamy white little flowers. And I'm going to use this straight bit here, this one, and I'm going to stick it in here. So I'm just gluing the bottom bit and then I'm sticking it. Okay, it doesn't want to, oh, it doesn't matter. And what do I want to have? I want to have something here. So I take another flower stem, one of the straight ones or the curly ones. You can do just as you like. So now let me see. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. And I'm sticking it in there. So we got a corner here. And I think I want to have just a little bit of small. Oh, this is nice. Oh, have you seen this one? It's got crystals in the middle. I want to show it. So I think I will just stick it there. Want to show it. A little bit more of the en français to show off the flower. A little bit more of the red, so under the leaf. That's a little one. And do we need something here? I wonder. I need something with a curly bit. Something with a curl. Ah, here's a curly bit. And I'm going to, yeah, sort of ish. And I want that curly bit because I'm going to hang something from it. So I'll have to stick it down a little bit more and glue this one a little bit more. And then I think we're about done with the bottom cluster. Then we'll go for the small one at the bottom. So we need, yeah, I nicked myself on the scissors. And we need a rose, one of the bigger ones. So like this. And we want to have something like this and a smaller one tucked in there. So yeah, so I'll start with a leaf. That's the base. And I like it to stick out a little bit on the side because that adds a little bit of interest. And I'm tucking in the white one and I'm angling it so it makes a nice little bed in there. And then I'm tucking in a little bit. Yeah, there it goes. So we got the bottom cluster, we've got the big one. Let me show. There. And the bitty one. And you see this, the snowy, icy, lumpy windowsill. And we continue with a big one at the top. And for that one, we used, I'll move that to the side. We used the lovely, lovely, lovely bloom with the flat with the lace. Oh, so yumminess. So I'm moving that a little bit to the side, and I'm tucking in this first of all to hide this piece here, so it's sticking out a little bit. And I'm gluing the yummy one there, and I am using leaves, of course, using lots. So I'm placing them out here, just staggering them, stacking it a little bit. There. Want some, yeah, why don't we stick some in here as well? So I'll use them as a bed for the other flowers and leaves. Hi Anna, hi. So, okay. We mustn't forget about Santa. I'll tuck him in or he'll disappear, I'm sure. As you can see, it takes a while for it to dry and to stick. I have to use something really good and proper. Okay, well, you see where it is. So on we go with the more Providence Day line, and cutting off the bottom and chopping up the leaves. Yeah, I can use that one. There, and off with that. Chopping off again. This one. Okay, so let's see. We'll put some under there, and we'll put a bit more down here under this leaf. Yeah, so I'll glue that down. Stick it in a little bit more. This one too. So we got the leaves, and what else have we got? Of course, some more of the en français. No, so do I, Joe. So, if you pardon me, I haven't got anything for my wounds, so I'll just wrap something around my finger. So these are sharp, these little things. And we need some more chopping chop. Chop off. And because these lines, if you chop them off, you can use them, they stretch so much longer. You don't have to use a whole vine. You can tuck them in and make them look so much more. Right, where do we have? Here is one. So some more vines, and we are nearing, we are not that far off being finished. So you're really brave sticking it out. Thank you very much for that. And we have some a little cluster here we need to do. Oops a daisy. And let's have one of these. So I'm grouping them there, and the last third one. As I said, I'm angling them a little bit. And we also need, let me look at the original one here. We have that, and we have that. And then we come to the yummy bit. Some more. We have some danglies. You seen these? Oh, it's a tiny one. Yeah, some danglies. So we are done with the clusters. I'll move aside this murder weapon. I'll move aside all the bits and pieces. And I think, do I have something left that could be good too? Yeah, why not? I have some more of this. Let's put it somewhere where it's nice. Why don't we have it stick out there? And I'm gluing it again. There it goes. Just press it down a little bit. And I'm adding just a little bit here as well. There. So we're done with the top cluster except for one bit. And I'm moving this just temporarily out of the way. And we have the velvet baubles, the trinkets. Just look at that. They're white to start with. And I have some more color bloom spray because I want to make them shabby, of course. So I use tea stain, I shake, and I spray, and I turn it over, and I spray it again. So that's it. And I move it aside because I'm baking, and I got 3 already made. Perfect. Oopsie daisy. So I'll move that aside. The velvet baubles are from the Zephyr collection. They have product number 560010. we're adhering them to our, and I'm not going to hang them in the curly bits. These ones, I'm going to stick them just like so. We have one up here, little leaf there, and we have one last down at the bottom, and I'm sticking it under the flower there. So what do we have left? We have the clusters. We want to have some here, and we want to have something there. So what I do is I take some more of the matte gel, there. Where on earth? Light paste. The light paste, because I want it to be a little bit, not entirely transparent. I want it to be a little bit snow flurry. So I do the same thing that I did with the trees. I just dab a little bit, like so, in the corners. And then I take some more of the glass beads, and I just sprinkle a little bit. And if you want to have more, you can use it afterwards. And I'm not going to dry it, but you see what it looks like. And the last thing are our buttons. So I have just generic buttons, and if you don't want to have them, just skip them. That works fine too. So I place out randomly, big or small. I put them, and if you want to put anything else, like a glitzy bitsy bit, something sparkly and shiny, that works just fine too. So I'm just going to mark their place with some glue, because we have lots and lots of texture. Remember, you need something that sticks really well, and we're only seconds from being all done. I mean, I say, you are the bravest. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you. Oh, this won't stick. Oh, this won't stick either. Okay, we are done. Can you believe it? And there we are, our Christmas home decor. Thank you. Any questions that Carrie hasn't answered? And if you have any questions, you just send them to Carrie. I will answer them. Oh, thank you, Ali. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Mel and Pam. You are absolutely... So I'll just remove that bit and I'll pan up, and you'll see me. So before I close, thank you everyone, thank you. I have a couple of announcements. So the next Prima show comes up on Thursday, on the 13th. It's Joy Altered Frame with Limor Weber, and it is sent on at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. And soon there will be a new special delivery kit announced on the 15th of November. And you can see it on livewithprima.com, and then you click the tab shop. Then you can see the kit and you can order it there. And also, have you been to the Prima blog? There is a card challenge going on, 12 days of Christmas cards. And you can create any Prima-based card or tag, and 12 lucky winners will win something special. So you have been brave. I've been running over time. Frank Garcia time is 25 minutes past the hour. And from me to carry from me to all of you. Thank you so much for being enjoying here. And remember, the crazy time starts now up to Christmas, but remember to breathe and remember that it's all about love. So in Swedish, premature but still, God Jul, Merry Christmas, Joyeux Noël, Frohe Weihnachten och ha en riktigt god jul. Hyvää joulua kaikille. Bye!